All right, so coming under the neck, as far as body mechanics wise, so that you can get a big scoop on the neck, the first thing we have to think about is our arms being close to our body. Because if I'm just using my arms to pull like this, that gets hard really quick. I can't pull. Marcos, that feels different.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pull very well like this if I'm just pulling my arms, and I have to kind of adopt this sort of posture, which isn't that great. It makes me like actually kind of like a little out of breath just doing that just now. So we're gonna keep our arms close to our body, and this is a big trick for body mechanics in general, is our arms close so that we can use our pelvis, and we can turn our pelvis and our trunk and get under and do movements like this instead of doing movements like this, which is a little harder to do. So I'm gonna put my arms close to my body. I always call it T-Rex arms or glamour shot. When people used to do this for like glamour shot cleavage, right? But arms close to the body, however you want to think about it. So when I go down into the tissue and under the neck, I am moving like this with my pelvis. I'm dropping my pelvis down and rotating my trunk, and I can get underneath the neck like this. So, I don't know if it really comes through, but I'm using my abs. I'm using the ground. I'm pushing off from the ground to do this. And it's a lot of, rotating my pelvis and my trunk. Okay, I'm gonna come back like this and elevate his chin, right? I'm extending his head and neck, extending the atlanto-occipital joint. And I'm doing this again by using the floor. So the floor is our friend. That's where our power is coming from the floor. So when I come over, come underneath like this, and I'm going to lift his head and neck up again. I have my arms like really tight into my body so that I can use my body. I'm gonna put my arms close, and I'm gonna just sort of scoot forward with my trunk, right? My elbows are locked into my rib cage, and I can pick him up like this, nice and high. How's it feel, Marcos?
It's good.
Feels like a nice
Good
extension
pressure,
there.
yeah. Good stretch.
And I have pressure, underneath his occiput and the suboccipitals, all that tissue around the suboccipitals. And this is easy for me. If I want to try to see like, oh, how far can I get Marcos's head and neck to extend here? How much can I get his chin tipped up toward the ceiling? I can come like this, and I'm just dropping my elbows. I'm kind of dropping my body. So I am actually kind of like flexing my trunk slightly and dropping my elbows. And that is pushing my fingers up into his occiput, which is extending his head and neck without a lot of effort on my part. I mean, if I held that for a while, my fingers get a little bit sore, but I was also doing quite a bit. So I can come here. Now, the position that I have his head and neck and his occiput is sitting right under here, okay? So that I'm able to do this, and as I do this, it's hooking underneath the occiput, and as I do this, it tractions back. So I'm not pulling my fingers back. I'm not pulling my arms back like this. I'm just coming like this, and I drop my wrist sort of into the table, and that puts my hand back like this. I can drop my elbows down, and that'll do more extension. But what I'm not doing is taking my fingers and pushing them like this, or pushing them like this. I'm not grabbing like this, and I'm not pulling with my arm. I'm not going to get his head and neck traction that way very well. And it always feels, when somebody's doing it on you, it feels like a bit of a struggle when somebody is, struggling. When they're struggling, it feels like they're struggling. So I'm going to come underneath. I'm on his occiput right here. I'm not quite to the mastoid process, which is right over here. I'm sticking around kind of back underneath. And again, I have the arms locked in. Like if I should get a little squeeze ball or something, but if I had a little ball here, just between my arm and my ribs, it would not be going anywhere, that's for sure. I'm squeezed in pretty tight. And when I want to come underneath his occiput and rotate his head and neck, I'm I'm tractioning a little bit because my fingers are like this, so it's naturally tractioning without me doing a whole lot. Just kind of dropping my wrist down to the table, and you see how that's pulling his chin toward me? It's like I'm pushing up, now I drop my wrist, boom. That puts that traction on it. And now I can just drop my body like this. I'm supporting him lightly over here. I'm not really holding on, just like kind of tipping his head a little bit on this side. It's very easy. I can just drop this down here. Don't have to do a whole lot except for drop my body down. Just laterally flexing a little bit at my trunk when you think about it that way. And come all the way up and work my way toward the mastoid process. How's it feeling, Marcos?
Really good.
Where's the pressure on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 was really, like super deep pressure.
3 or close to 4.
Okay, nice. If I want to do deeper work at his occiput, I'm probably going to put him in sideline and do that. This is just a nice way to open up, to stretch things, get people used to your touch. If I want to do work that's more around a 5 or 6 around that, I'm going to put him in sideline and do that. It's a lot easier. So again, my arms are close. I'm really not doing this. I'm doing it with my body.